Hey traders, here Michael here, and we're looking at pound dollar today, and we're looking at this really strong downtrend on the high time frame. And as we come into London Open, we've just broken above the trend line. As you can see, this is a high time frame trend line, and we have a closing bar right here. And most classical technical analysis would be telling you to actually be buying here, as this was a breakout point. However, we expect it's going to go down, and for a number of reasons, but this move is actually a trap move by the banks. It could go up, but the higher probability, very, very high at this stage, is that it goes down. Now it's 21 pips to the low, and once we get a confirmation that the price is actually stalling, then I'm going to be shorting this market, and we're going to see this trade move lower very, very quickly, based on a number of factors. Most of the banks will trade at the beginning of London Open, because this is where the money's made. Down to the swing lows, 30 pips. We could get there very, very easily. And I'm going to look to take out most of my profit as quickly as I can. That's a sort of move we could get extremely quickly. It's a nice 30 pips down to the low. I'm going to get out a lot quicker than that. However, I will leave money for the lower swing lows at one spot 33.70 if I get there. This is the target if we break above there. I don't believe we're going to get there tonight. Very, very unlikely based on the weakness of the market. It's a risk-off period, a risk-off situation, and so at the moment the dollar is getting stronger. 70 pips to that high. However, I expect us to go lower very, very quickly, possibly with some very, very sharp movements. So 70 pips up to there, 30 pips down to that swing low, and we're going to take this short. When we look at the trend line, you can see that there's a clear break. So it looks like we have momentum. There's a swing point there to watch, but I don't believe we're going to get there. 17 points to that swing point. But you never buy high in the market. Okay, this is one of the main reasons why most traders fail. Is the rule is to buy low and sell high, or sell high and buy low. So you don't want to buy after the market has risen. You want to sell. Now there's a number of other conditions and factors involved, but we want to buy down at the bottom and we want to sell high at the top. So there's a number of other factors, but I'm a seller here because the market has already gone up considerably, and we're looking for weakness down to the pivot, possibly even down to the swing low. So lesson number one, never buy high, because your risk reward is much lower, or your reward to risk ratio is much lower. We want to get asymmetric reward to risk, and so we want to sell high and buy low. We want to buy or sell outside the standard deviations after prices moved significantly in our favor. So we've pushed off the 200 moving average. Now I'm just about to get short here on my initial positions. So here I am shorting. I'm going to short right now a number of positions. Here we go. Let's look at those on my chart. So I'm short. As you can see, my take profit is down one spot 34.30. I'm going to move my stops down a little bit to about 12-13 pips. We should not get up there at all. Sometimes we might make a third fail push higher, but in this situation I believe we're going straight down from here after possibly going sideways for about an hour. So my stops on the last few positions are at 75 pips, and one right down there in case we get a larger move at the S3. I'm short from here and I'm expecting a quick move down. However, we might go sideways for about an hour. I'm just going to add to my position because we're moving down nicely already. And this is a really solid trade to get into. And we're right at the beginning of London, so I believe we're going to go down very, very fast. Now, notice that we have the R1 just below us. That's what I expect is going to happen, and that's where I'm going to take out all my profit. However, if we get a sharp move, I'll get up quickly. There's a possibility we move a bit higher, but I'm not sure that's good. Okay, so here we are back again. We're going sideways. Let's look at our positions. There they are. As you can see, price is sort of bouncing off that trend line for now. Now, this sort of Price action here is indecisive price action, which indicates that there are not a lot of strong buys in the market and price should move down to the swing low here. So this is very, very great for our confidence that there is no momentum. So it's possible we get down to here. Let's try that again. It's possible we get down to here. We're not sure. We don't know for certainty, but we do know we are going to get a push in the short term down to here. Okay, that's very, very high probability trade right down here. It's about 12 pips or so. So we might take out before then, but we should get down there. Okay, so we've got a little bit further. As you can see, we're still going sideways. This is indicative of the unwillingness of buyers to bid the market. And this price action indicates we are not going to go higher. We are going lower from here. Okay, so I'm expecting a push down almost immediately within the next 15 minutes. There's no big buyers at all. Okay, they've walked out of the market. The only people left in this market are sellers, and we'll see that shortly. So let's wait and see what happens. What we're looking at is retail investors trying to bid the market up. Okay, rookie traders who don't know what they're doing, they are buying this market because they don't realize that the big players are selling. Okay, price is going to go down from here. At the moment, these are retail traders who don't know what the market's going to do, and they're buying in exactly the wrong place. All right, so here we go, moving a bit lower, exactly as we expected. Now look at the price action here. We can see this rounding top, which shows that there's no buyers in the market. Okay, this is indicative of a reversal, a very, very strong reversal sign. Price is going to go down from here. It's almost guaranteed. A rounding top with this sort of market structure in this sort of context, price is going to go straight down. And there we go. We are down, broken below that consolidation. Price is moving down very strongly in our favor. We're currently up a number of pips on each of our positions. We could take out a lot of this right now, but I'm going to wait for a bigger move. In fact, I might add to this position as well. I might actually add to my shorts. Here's our current open positions. Now I like to open a number of positions. It helps me scale out at will. I'm going to add short again. Okay, so going short again when this candle closes right now. There we go, there's the close of our candle. I'm shorting again, and we're going to take this lower. Move my limits down a little bit. Okay, so here's my brand new open positions. There's my currently open positions that are in profit. We're up about 50 pips so far on the total positions. Now, if we break through this trend line with a strong candle, price is definitely going to move down a lot faster. Okay, so here we're back, a bit of a bounce up higher, and often we do get this third fail push higher, but the overall market structure is that price is going to move down from here. So once we get a close below this trend line, price should capitulate very, very quickly. So let's have a look at 30-minute chart. Interesting candle there. 1 hour chart. Okay, so price, once we move lower, then we should see a very, very fast decline in price. All right, so here we are. We now have a close just on the trend line. We need one more candle to close below this trend line. Now I'm already short from the highs. Now we have a really nice rounded padding up here. But if you missed understanding this, then once we close through this trend line, that would be a great entry. My bag's already packed and ready to fly, so let's wait and see what the next candle does. Okay, so there's our next candle. It's closed. We've now closed. Price should collapse very, very quickly from here. That close has confirmed the reversal pattern at the top, and let's see what price does. Here's our current open position, so we're out profit on all of them. We're up a number of positions. This is just the way that I trade, scale in and scale out when I want to. Let's wait for this move down now. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, it's pushing down really nicely. I'm going to be adding to my position again. Once we get a sharp move down, I'll start taking out profits and we'll see it live. Now this swing low is really the last barrier. Once we break that, we'll be heading down to this tweezer bottom and then we'll be away. So we're moving up in our profit. Everything is looking good. Let's wait for that last push down. In fact, I might just start closing out some of these right now. All right, close these ones out. And a few more, 6.7, 6.7, 6.8, 6, 5.9, 5.9, 5.8. 5.9, 5.8. Okay, we're still moving down strong. We've now broken that swing low. We've closed another 5-minute candle and we're moving down really nicely. Last positions are up 7.5 pips, 8 pips each. Let's have a brief look at our history, what we've closed out so far. So this is what we've closed out in the last minute. A lot of pips there. And this is our open position. There we go, open 351, held for 1 hour and 10 minutes. So 70-minute hold has secured us a lot of pips. Still moving down very, very strongly. I'll start taking out some more soon. So you can see price is capitulating as I expected. There's no buyers in the market, therefore the sellers are taking over. I'm going to start taking these out. Yeah, take some of these out. I'm going to leave the last two positions at the top here, currently at 8.7. I'm going to keep them open and see if we can get a push to the low. So we might break lower, but we're going to put the stops just above the high, which will move soon. Here's our history. This is what we've done in the last 5 minutes. We've closed out all of these trades, well over 150 pips. Some 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, some held for less than an hour. And we're done. So open positions only have 2 left, or 4 left. And we'll get rid of this stuff here, and we'll actually move the stops down to just above the high to protect them. We've now broken down below the trend line on the higher time frames. Let's move these take profits all the way down to the lows, about 70 pips. Now price could get down here very, very quickly. We'll leave 1, 2 just in there. And we'll move our stops down to about just below the high. Okay, we're now up 8.6 on the last 2 positions at the top, 3.5 on the last 2. let's see what happens tomorrow morning. All right, hey traders, we're back again. It's Michael here. And wow, price is exactly what we expected last night. Here was our trend line. And then we got a huge push down from our initial entry down to the bottom was 50 pips. And then we reversed pretty hard. Now I'm actually very, very interested as to why we reversed this way. And the only thing I can bring down to at the moment is the bounce from the stock market. So normally when the stock market drops, because we were at that higher time frame trend line, which is right here, I was expecting that we would at least get a push lower, at least to the bottom of this range. That wasn't the case, and that's one of the reasons why, as I said earlier, when we opened this trade, was that we always take profit as quickly as we can, because we don't actually know with 100% certainty what's going to happen in the medium term. Now, in the short term, it's very, very easy to determine price direction, as you can see on my trade. So here was the little stick figure that I drew in. We followed the trade together, and as we go down to look at the entry, that's exactly what I said would happen. There's my little figure, there's the close, and let's look at our deal map. So as you can see, most of my profits were taken out early. I left 2 open above the high, as you can see, which was very, very wise. And I was actually expecting to get a move down to the lows. And so my take profit was down in this range here. As you can see, we got very, very close. And the last 2 were taken out for a loss of 7 pips each, which is peanuts when you consider the rest of the money we made. Now, often what I would do is put 1 at the previous swing low, which is here. I did not choose to do that this time, even though we got this huge push down, simply because of the frailty of the market. So we could have made more, but as you can see, we got the direction absolutely perfectly. And if we were right, these last 2 would have made more money than the first 20 put together. So winning trade. Let's look at our history and see what we made. Okay, so here's our total take profit on this position last night. As you can see, the 31st of January, in order of pips, 7.4 all the way down to 6.7, scrolling down 6.6, 5.9, 5.8, 5.2, 4, and then the ones I took out 3. And these are my 2 losses. So compared to the rest of these, you can see these are minuscule. And overall, we get about 177 pips or so on that trade. So obviously we could have made more, but 177 pips in one night's pretty good. And as you can see, there was no risk on this trade, so price went down immediately in our favor. Again, we could have made a lot more. However, at this point right here, I went to sleep. That was my time over in New Zealand to sleep, and so I set my take profits, and if we got down there, we got down there, but we made money very, very quickly. And that's the point of trading, is to get into getting into a profitable trade as quickly as you can, and letting your profits run, always leaving 1 or 2 positions open if you get an extended move. Now with pound dollar, volatile and weak, you can get runs of up to 100, 150 pips from one night on a single trending move. And that's what I was looking for in this situation, simply because we were in the context of a strong downtrend on the higher time frame, on the 4-hour chart, and it was very, very possible, and I think we still can in the next couple of days, move down to the lows. So a brilliant trade. As you can see, there are ways that we can understand how price action works with trend, and it works with the opposite of what rookie traders are doing. And when you understand how the banks trade, you can learn to recognize when not to buy the breakout of the trend line, as seen here, but when to actually go against the market and be contrarian. And when you're contrarian and you're right, price moves very, very quickly in your favor, as you can see by this massive capitulation here, and you can profit extremely well. So like the video and subscribe to the channel, and there'll be a lot more content coming through, and good luck with all your trading.